let's get into this here. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, wrong scene for me, but hey, I'll take this one. Welcome back, everyone. We have a great matchup here tonight in NA FaceIt Masters League here between Unicam and Alternate. These teams, I want to say both of them are safely locked in. At least no Uni Academy is locked in. Alternate, unless something incredibly weird happens, they should be locked in here. I'll take a look at the standings here real quick for you guys. Uni Academy 10-3 coming into this game, and Alternate 9-5. Uni Academy is actually one of the only teams left that has yet to play their 14th game. This is their 14th game here tonight. They do have another game tomorrow. That'll be with Boop Troop to finish up the season for them here. Uni Academy though 10-3 on the season so far. Only losing to, I mean, we can look at it here. Only losing to Iliad Artemis, Dreamland, and Extinction Zero. I mean, this team right now is one of the hottest teams here in this NA Masters tier, on a little bit of a burner at the moment. Make it 7 straight wins for them. And I mean, really, the teams they've lost to outside of Dreamland. I mean, you have Extinction Zero, who's fighting for their playoff lives tonight, and Iliad Artemis, who I think just got out of yesterday, making sure they were not going to be in those relegation games here. So this is a team that has really figured something out here as of late. And on the other side, Alternate at one point in this season was one of the best teams, or if not the best team in NA Masters. And then it all kind of fell apart 10 days ago, where you can see it right here. They played 5 games in 5 days. Only ended up winning 2 of them, and it kind of sent them down a downward spiral. I mean, me and Hunter Tane were able to cover that game against Shikigami, and Shikigami looked like a completely different team in that one than what we saw earlier on in the season. Shikigami actually fighting for a playoff spot here tonight against their sister team or brother team, Midori. That is over on Bullskunk's channel, so that would be a good game to watch here tonight as well, because both those teams are fighting for their playoff lives here, and you also have Extinction Zero, who's fighting for their playoff lives here tonight. As you can see here, sitting in that 9th spot. Everyone under this one right here, in control down, they are eliminated from playoff competition here, or contention here in the NA Masters tier. Extinction Zero, though, they have a really rough opponent, because I believe, if I remember correctly, they were playing, that is Dreamland here tonight. Not necessarily a favorable matchup for them, but hey, upsets do happen. We definitely saw that last night with Iliad Artemis. That was a really fun game to watch if you guys missed that one. But now focusing back in on Alternate and Uni Academy. Uni Academy, because they have that one more game left to come up here tomorrow, they could still kind of sneak their way up here into the 2nd seed. They have beat Young and Beautiful. They have beat Tanuki, who you can already see Tanuki really not going to stay in that 3rd spot much longer if we do see Uni Academy win this series here tonight. So a lot of movement can happen. I believe Uni Academy can get all the way up to 1st if Dreamland does lose, but 2nd would probably be the highest they could get. The lowest, if they lose both games, they can kind of fall in this middle group of teams right here, where they could be 5th, 6th. But I really do expect this Uni Academy team to potentially be the number 2 seed going into playoffs here in NA Masters. Alternate, they are a little bit of a question mark for me still. Like I just highlighted, they have been on a little bit of a downward spiral here lately. They were able to right the ship in their last series. But is that going to be enough in this series here tonight? Time will tell. But I mean, we've seen these teams multiple times. Me and Hunter Tane have, and I mean, I have a lot of faith in this Uni Academy team. Alternate, I mean, only saw them once on our own stream. Watched them on a couple others, but that was I watched them on a couple others when they were playing really, really good. The one time they were on our stream, it was, let's just say, not the best showing from them. They kind of seem lost at moments here, but hey, hopefully that victory last week or yesterday for them really helps them out. However, map 1 is here. We are going to be heading to Oasis to get everything going. And I mean, Oasis kind of seems to be the go-to map for a lot of these NA Masters teams, or just NA in general. We're starting to see it slowly get played a little bit more in South America, which me and Hunter Tane have also been covering a great deal of. And if you haven't been watching that, those are some really fun series. I know all the ones that me and Hunter have done are over on his YouTube channel if you want to watch them there. But heading back into this one, it's going to be really interesting to see what we see banned out first here, because I always talk about with map 1 being safe bans, but it seems more recently we started getting into that category of we're making the bans we're making bans, really targeted bans here early on, which is not a good strategy, but hey, it's worked out for teams here as of late. Now, though, map 1, ban 1, going to be Hazard. Not necessarily a big surprise there from, I believe, Uni Academy making that ban. The other side, though, that one's going to be the fun one. Is it going to be something like the Freya, who I've seen banned constantly on this map? Is it going to be something like a Lucio, a Kiri, a Juno? Juno, Kiri are always ones I would consider pretty relatively safe. So you could see that one come out. But, I mean, once that second ban comes in, actually, no, that was Alternate's ban. Uni is now banning here. So Uni has a second ban. It's going to be really interesting to see what they see here. But as you can see, I mean, these two teams have a couple subs. I believe when we saw Alternate play against Shikigami last week, me and Hunter, we didn't really see that much swap in. I believe Lampet and Jinxie were maybe the only ones that swapped. On the other side, I think we've seen Uni Academy here a couple times and have yet to actually see Hutch or Mage come in. I might be wrong about that, as not the best with names at times, but I mean, I know how good this Uni Academy team is. I mean, at the start of the season, they were with Rad. I think just let them go, and Uni Academy might be making them eat their own words here at the moment, as they are, in my opinion, probably one of the best teams going into this playoffs here. Dreamland probably being the only other one that you can really make an argument for. I think they're on about a 10-game win streak, 11 if they're able to beat Extinction Zero here tonight. But as we wait now for the lineups to be finalized, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what the second ban was. Brig was our second ban, so not necessarily the biggest shock, in my opinion, to see Brig come out here. But, I mean, that kind of really focuses or limits what you expect to see here. So no Hazard, no Brig. That might mean a lot more speed, so Lucio, Juno might be in play. Lucio, Kiri might be in play. Even in Ana. Ana does still find a lot of decent value on this map, and I would not be necessarily surprised if we see them get away, or if we see an Ana come out here, especially with no Brig. Yeah, you still have a Kiri on the other side, so you're still going to get some Suzu value out of them if you do see that. But outside that, DPS lines, I think we are fully expecting to see Tracer. Outside of that, it's going to be coming down to what the hit scan wants to play. Do they want to play the Soj? Do they want to play the Freya? Or do they want to play the Cassidy? I have seen a lot of value from all those picks here as of late. Freya, though, I think I'm in the minority, basically saying Freya is just not as strong as she was when she first came out, which isn't the biggest shock. She does get a lot of damage, but not necessarily that many kills anymore. And Bola shot, her ultimate does not necessarily find that much value, in my opinion, unless you stick it onto an already half-dead squishy character on the other side here. But still waiting for some people to come in at the moment here. And again, let me just lay out the stakes here for this game. Alternate, if they win this one, I think they safely lock themselves into playoffs. Liquipedia did not have them locked in, but I feel like there needs to be some wild scenarios that come out here today that would knock Alternate out. Uni Academy is already locked in. They can go up, or they can only go down maybe one or two spots in the standings. They're coming into this one fourth, but if they win here tonight, they'll immediately jump into third and potentially second, and they have the one more game tomorrow against Boop Troop. So that is still going to be a fun one there. But Uni Academy, like I said, I really like this team. They seem to play very, very well together. The couple times me and Hunter Tane have been able to watch them. Still just waiting on one more player to join up here. A lot of action actually being covered here tonight. I know that. Like I said, Iliad is focusing on the Battle of the Org right there, as Iliad Helios is taking an Iliad Artemis. So that one, if you want to watch that, will be on Iliad Esports here on Twitch. Bullskunk is covering Midori and Shikigami. Again, another Inner Org battle. So a lot of Inner Org battles here happening in our final day of play. And honestly, those are some fun games. If I wasn't streaming this one, I would definitely be watching one of those ones here. But still waiting on one member of Alternate to get in at the moment. This might actually just end up resulting in, I have to imagine, a little bit of maybe a server reset. It's still giving them 2 minutes to get in. But, I mean, just going back to what we kind of saw from Alternate against Shikigami, I mean, there were two close maps, in my opinion, when they played Shikigami, but Shikigami kind of pulled away on the last one. It just really seemed like they struggled with some aggression, but hey, I hear the sound that we are heading into the game here. So as we load in, I am going to quickly add in those bans because, well, I did make something for that. So one moment here. Come on. It looks like we're in a little bit. There we are. It looks like the server might actually be dying on us. We haven't even started. It looks like they were in a little bit of a warm-up here, and we're already getting a little bit of a pause coming out. Not the best start, but hey, it's a start. Where did that one go? Why are you that high up? This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to continuously move this thing throughout the night. But Ivory disconnected here, so a little bit of an awkward start right now for these two teams, and I believe I have them on the right sides. Graveyard is on Uni, and yep, I do have it on the right side. All right. I think we're getting a server reset here. If anything, it just looks like we are kind of just waiting for everyone to get back here. I'm gonna be honest, this happened with me and Hunter when we were covering South American. There's Ivory back, so we might be getting started here soon. This kind of happened last night when me and Hunter. There we are. We are all back in here. Looks like we're gonna be heading out the gardens here first on Oasis. And like I was saying, we had a little bit of an interesting predicament happen last night in South American FaceIt there, where the third map just wouldn't load in, so the players actually had to make the lobby themselves and then follow up with what was going on with FaceIt after the fact there. But great job by Phoenix Rising to secure that last spot in the South American region playoffs. And now coming out of the gate, this is kind of what I expect to see. Orissa's from both sides. Lucio is kind of what I expect to see a little bit just with speed. I forgot about BAP. BAP might be one of the strongest supports in the game at the moment, considering how much damage they can truly do here. Outside of that, like I said, the hit scans showing us a little difference coming out the gate. Soj for the side of Alternate, and Cass for the side of Uni Academy. Lampit is going to be, and Lich, going to probably be swapping over to the Tracers right after this here. And Uni Academy, I mean, they're using that speed boost to get out of dodge here early on. Juno actually making a little bit of a swap here, going over to the Kiri late here, just to try to get a little bit more healing. And they have the Suzu, which will come in a little bit handy for them in sticky situations. But I think just overall, Immortality Field works out a little bit better for them as as Rip Goats tries to take this high ground here. Gonna force Santana back for the moment, but has to try to find something. Uni Academy playing it kind of smart at the moment, just waiting for some cooldowns to come back. Nice jab out there, canceling out everything. Lich in a little bit of a bad spot, has to grab that large health pack, as you do see Alternate just fall down on the point here. And now Suzu already invested here early from Juno. That might come back to haunt them. Social and Juno out here very early on, as you already see Lich and this DPS line for Uni Academy finding all the momentum and value they need from these picks. And now, with them falling right there, Lampy gonna try to escape. Lich gonna chase them down. Oh, didn't grab that health pack right there. Uni Academy gonna be capping first here. A good fight, honestly, there by Uni Academy. I mean, I thought Rip Goats and the rest of Alternate were playing that relatively smart and safe, at least forcing Uni off the high ground, but it just seemed like Uni was baiting them out there, was ready for that. Once everyone dropped down to low ground, it was just a little bit of an even fight. Jab coming out there from Rip Goats, not going to be able to find Graveyard, who's on that high ground right now, but Regime finding their counterpart out on the other side. Lich now going in as well in that backline, just trying to be the menace that we've seen them in the past. Graveyard going to be able to take care of Temp, and you're already seeing Alternate backing out, getting out of dodge for the second time here. Jab's been out there from Rip Goats, but Graveyard not going to let them escape right there. And honestly, a great start here for Uni Academy. If you're Alternate, I mean, you're coming up to one ultimate here, but look at Uni. You're about to have all five. I mean, you're in a really, really good spot. However, I mean, this Kitsune Rush from Juno might be a little bit of a difference maker. Maybe you just need the speed here again. Like me and Hunter kind of watched them play against Shikigami. They don't do well into teams that are very aggressive, and right now Uni Academy being aggressive here. Beat coming out here from Regime early, gonna hit onto everyone but Lich right there. Lich though will say, I don't care, I don't need it, finding one. Santana will find Juno, and this fight already over right there, only having to invest the beat. However, if your ultimate, you can look on the bright side. You didn't invest your 1 ultimate. Now you're building up the 4, not that far away from Temp's overclock as well, so you're about to have all 5. However, you're still looking at 4 ultimates on the other side, and I'm looking at Graveyard's Ant Matrix being the one that might get everything kicked off here. That's exactly what is going to happen. It's really going to be used just to keep Santana alive here. Terror Surge out for them right now. Beat now out from Social. Going to be able to keep them alive. Actually, no one gets into that Terror Surge. Immortality Field out, but the Blade out from Lampet, who finds 1, 2. About to find a 3rd right there. An alternate, yeah, you invested only, hey, 3 ultimates into that fight. You'll take that for the point swap. And hey, you still have 2 good ultimates here. Juno being able to hold on to that Kitsune Rush throughout that entire fight. I thought that would be something that you would use pretty early on, maybe the fight before last here, but you still have to deal with a Pulse Bomb and a Deadeye. And I mean, if you're Uni, I mean, the Deadeye could be used as a zoning tool, allowing Lich to find that opportunity here, but Lich already trying to get in that backline right here. Deadeye actually out from Ivory. Say goodbye to Lich. There's the Deadeye now. Ivory trying to find anyone that can get some damage on the Rip Goats, but that Fortify going to be able to keep them up here. Juno trying to do whatever they can to keep their tank alive here. Has to invest. Suzu might have to just invest Kitsune as well, but no. Rip Goat's going to kind of hide there in the corner for the moment, get all the healing they need as they focus back in on some other members. And Uni Academy kind of playing a little bit split at the moment. There's the Kitsune Rush out, and now you see Alternate get aggressive. They need to be able to find Santana off this, but Santana going to be able to escape with their life. Jab's been out there now from the other side. Going to be somehow have that jab hit them. It felt like they were behind the corner. An interesting play right there, but if you are alternate, you're really liking this. Overclock coming out here from Temp, trying to get rid of Ivory. Not going to be able to find them there. Now focusing in on Santana, who's using all their cooldowns to keep themselves alive. Finding the headshot right there, but won't find much after that. Graveyard pops the amp, but Lampant going to be able to find Ivory there. Will get traded out, however. Regime with 2, the Lucio. You have to always be wary of them. Can do scary amounts of damage in a short amount of time, but this fight right here looks like it's going Uni Academy's way here. It looks like just stalls coming out right now from Alternate, trying to get as high as they can, but is there even going to be someone that gets back for a touch? It looks like Social was going to be that person, but they get taken out by Graveyard, and a beat to come out there for celebration for Uni Academy as they will take our first point of the night.
Score 0-1.
All right, let's take a look at some stats here. I mean, you really look at the side of Alternate here, top, or the blue side. I mean, pretty good. Again, it was a really rough thing, but when they got control of the point, they did a good job just holding on to it. For Uni Academy, and they just played smart fights. Yeah, they lost 2 fights, and that's where you see most of those deaths come in from. But outside of that, I mean, you can look at some of the stats here, especially look at Lich. 11 elims, tied with Santana for most in the lobby here. And Ivory, or my bad, Graveyard, 7. They seem to be getting their name that kill feed a decent amount, leading the lobby and healing here. So good jobs by the Baps early on, but already taking some damage here as the TPs get them out pretty quickly. But I like what Uni Academy's doing. Get up to this high ground, try to get it established for them, and it makes it very difficult for Alternate to really do anything. Also seeing Ivory come out here on the Freya for the first time here. Thought we would see it at some point this map, but I thought after how they played Cass last map, they would be sticking on it. But no, the Freya out here now for Uni Acad, as Uni Acad already going for cap here. Get to see a little bit of a contest, but there's going to be walking into a lot of damage. Juno already being pressured out by Lich in that back line. Lich, again, this is kind of something you have to be watching out for. The Tracers just do so much if they go unchecked. And right now, you can see what they're doing to Juno. Everyone, the other support right there as well. Same with Temp. Already, though, Uni Academy capping point, and I mean, just look at how far back they are pushing. Nice take aim shot right there by Ivory, allowing Regime to clean them up, and you can kind of just see what Alternate's trying to do here. Maybe find one cheeky kill on the way out. Social will find that, but they will also find themselves being taken out by Ivory. Nice fight there for Uni Academy, kind of starting it off like they did last round, or last point here. Already Lich, Ivory having their ultimates ready to go. This is kind of what you expect, though, from Freya players. Tracer, though, I mean, they were pestering that backline a decent amount. Not the biggest shock to see them already having a pulse bomb ready to go. With how they've been playing around that backline, it seems, for the majority of this start of this round, you know they're looking for that stick, trying to find maybe Lampet, Social out as well. Temp starting to pressure them. Rip Goat's actually getting very low. Has to use that Fortify early on here in the small room. Temp trying to rotate around, has a shot on Graveyard, but misses it. that. That would have been a huge opening pick, and Lich coming back into the fray will find him. Ant Magic's out now from Juno, just trying to flip the fight, but Pulse Bomb from Lich just does a little bit too much, and this fight already in cleanup mode for Uni Academy as they just look to get rid of Rip Goat, who, I mean, at this point is just being staggered out for max value. I mean, again, you're kind of looking, like I said, you're looking at the same situation we almost saw last point where ultimates are online here for Uni Academy, and yeah, you have 2, 3, 4, about to be 4 ultimates ready for alternate. You did use Ammatrix from Juno and just didn't find the value, and that's just an unfortunate play there from them. However, I mean, coming in, Graveyard going to throw out their Ammatrix, and now look at how aggressively this Uni Academy team will play. Shield actually coming out there. I like that play here from Santana as they do pop their Terror Surge. Not going to be able to find anyone in that backline, but does force out a lot of position play right there from the rest of their team. Juno now just trying to keep Rip Goats alive on the point here as they try to get this point flipped because this is last fight territory. Santana falling though. Beat coming out, only going to be able to hit Regime out there. Ivory Lich though, look at the follow-up. Regime using that beat like a charm, finding one out as well. And this is what I like about this Uni Academy team. Yeah, you could be down your tank, but the rest of your team, they are just as scary. Uni Academy gonna take our first map of the night. And honestly, it was really close that first point. Alternate really made it close, but Uni Academy, they just pulled away here on point number 2, giving them map 1 here. A really good showing, honestly, from them, like I said. And I mean, I'll look at the stats after the series, after we get back to this the play here. But just a really, really good start right now for them. It's what you truly needed if you were them. Social going to play the game. They did. I wasn't really looking at, but I see them getting a couple kills there in the end. Now then, let me update all of this real quick. All right, yeah, so let's look at some stats right now while we have the time. Kings Row going to be our number 2 map here. I actually wait for the bans to come through. I can talk about stats while we're there. Kings Row, again, Hazard and the Brig were banned their last map, so Hazard definitely could be something we see this map. I wouldn't necessarily expect it, but it is a possibility for them. However, I mean, you look at this map always being a little bit of a brawl map, and like I will always say anytime I cast it, was known as the brawliest of all brawl maps. No longer that in Overwatch 2. You're starting to see it really become a good hybrid map or a good flex map. You could kind of play whatever composition you want as long as it gets you through first point. Wrecking Ball, potentially, maybe not the best option, but it's going to be interesting to see what we see come out here from these two teams. Alternate will have first ban. If they go after the Orisa, it wouldn't necessarily shock me, but it also just means you have to deal with the Orisa basically every other map the rest of this series after the fact. If you're Uni Academy, I'm trying to think who gave you problems. Actually, it's going to be the Freya band coming out there from Alternate to get everything going here. So they don't want to see the Bounty Hunter here in map number 2. And Freya, especially with some long sight lines on the first, second, and third points, does find a lot of value, but that just allows Ashe, Cass, and Widow potentially to fill in that gap here. Tracer's still going to be a problem, but both teams really did like the Tracer, and I don't see Tracer being banned out here anytime soon. Uni Academy, though, will be making the second ban. So while it won't pop up immediately for us here, let's just look at the stats in that first map, and you can really start to see a big difference there between the two teams. I mean, just look at the DPS eliminations there. Alternate only getting 12 combined, while on the other side, 36, 3 times difference. That is a huge amount, and I was really impressed with the tank there for Uni Academy as well. They were doing a really good job just taking space and playing aggressively. That's one thing, like I've said a couple times already, Alternate felt like they kind of struggle with being the team that's aggressed on early on. It seems like they kind of get a little bit jumpy, maybe use some of their cooldowns and abilities maybe at the wrong times. But Alternate, I still have a lot of faith in them being able to come back in this one. Graveyard and Juno, the two Babs, were matching each other pretty good in healing. Not that much in damage and elims, though. Almost double the amount, or over double the amount of damage there for Graveyard, and 4 times the amount, or almost a little bit over 3 times the amount there in elims as well. But everyone on the side of Uni having over 14 elims is good. No one on the side of Alternate having 10 elims. I mean, you can You can hark on stats all you want, but you see a one-sided affair right there. Alternate, like I said, I feel like they can come back, but they're going up against a really tough team in Uni Academy. And like I said, they are a team that if they win tonight and tomorrow against Boop Troop, they could really lock themselves in the 2 or maybe even the 1 seed if we do see a loss from Dreamland. Orisa and Freya going to be the bans here for this map. So while we load in, let me change that. That's the wrong thing. Okay. No, wait. Yeah. All right. So, as we head into King's Row, everyone's favorite map here, looks like the teams have swapped sides, so I have to fix that as well. Nope. There we are. Have to fix this as well here, get the score up. All right. I believe everything is now good. Graveyard, again, on the BAP. I feel like we're going to be seeing BAP throughout the majority of the night. I'm not really going to talk about much on the other side. Looks like we're actually having some subs come in here. Emmermain and Lampant coming in now for the side of Alternate. And this is a really interesting, these are really interesting bands. Are really interesting picks coming out here, and I'm not going to talk about them much more because I feel like they're just bait picks. Yeah, Emmermain going over to the Diva here. Like I said, you can kind of see a lot of different viability here, but you see more swaps coming out there at the moment from both sides. Santana, though, on the hazard, so they were banned out map 1, probably for the reason that Alternate did not want to be seeing that hazard out, but you already see the aggressive playstyle come out here. Social going to be able to find Regime on the other side. A huge opening pick here for Alternate. Now, though, they really need to clean up one more. Hey, if they can find Santana, that'll be all they really need from this fight, but Santana going to be able to get rid of Temp here, and that's not what you want to see. However, Santana very low on health, and I mean, if they get taken out here, then it might just be currents for this fight for Uni Academy. They're doing a good job just playing their angles. Santana back up to full health, and Alternate backing up to regroup. Right now, it looks like they're just trying to get high ground pressure as Alternate a little bit split here, so you could see a kind of dive on that backline. Regime now almost getting taken out here as they swap over to the Brig. Remember, Brig was banned last map, so that's why this is the first time we're seeing them. Santana now very low. Emmermain trying to get rid of them. Going to be able to. Lich, though, still keeping up their dastardly ways. Going to be able to find one Graveyard as well, but Social will take care of them. This should at least be 1 or 2 ticks going over to Alternate, but without finding Lich out, you might only be able to get one. There's the 1 tick there from Alternate. About to be 2. They get the second. I actually thought Lich might have tried to engage on the point. Santana, though, trying to make some noise here, already get us guard themselves up, take a little bit less damage, but 75% is a good first grab there from Alternate, especially with 2 minutes on that time bank. And now Santana just being pressured out there on the high ground. Graveyard gonna have to start putting in double time here to make sure they get stayed healthy alive here. Beat coming out now from Social. There's the Amp to try to counter out that beat, but Emmermain gonna be knocked out of mech. Lampit's blade finding 2 whenever they've had a blade popped off in the past, and it does not disappoint here again. Temp will find Regime, and that should be first point going over to Alternate. That there was a great fight for them, and hey, it looks like Emmermain might try to play a little bit aggressively here, and yep, everyone on the side of Uni just gonna smartly back up. But you look at Uni Academy here, 4 ultimates coming into this next fight. Alternate, they just invested 3, so this is going to be a very tough fight, a couple of fights, honestly, for them to have to deal with. Downpour, Overclock, the pulse bomb from Lich is going to be deadly to anyone that's not near Juno here at the moment. Lich, though, doesn't necessarily matter about the pulse bomb. They're just as deadly with those pulse pistols and their fists, but Temp shutting them down right there, being able to get rid of them, gets rid of that pressure from the pulse bomb, allows you to play a little bit more freely here, but you still have to deal with a lot on the other side. Santana really waiting for the perfect time to drop this here as Uni Academy. I feel like this is one of those situations where you are just allowing the attacking team to push this card up this far. You win a team fight, you're just going to be able to go right back and hold it arches, but Temp Oh, talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Santana finds them out, and now that might just be the signs for Alternate just completely fall back and regroup here, because Temp with that overclock might have made a world of difference in that fight. And yeah, they are running for the hills here. That Jagged Wall going to keep them out for the moment, but Emmermain, they need to run like hell here, and they're going to be able to keep that mech alive. That would have been a costly stagger right there. Still over 2.5 minutes on the clock here for Alternate. There's the downpour out, and you see it capturing Social right there. No beat to keep him alive, but looks like it only finds Social. However, because of without that healing right there, Emmermain does fall out of mech. And like I said, one team fight win was all Uni Academy needed here just to go back and hold at Arches, and that is exactly what you see from them there. And Lich getting a little bit low, but still, look at the ultimates here. I mean, Uni Academy has rotated through ultimates essentially, not really using anyone outside of that downpour. They're still in a really good spot. Amage come out here from Graveyard. That's exactly what's going to happen to counter out Temp's overclock. Temp will find Ivory. Lich, though, again, still being able to find one. Amage is not going to be able to find a lot here, as you already see Alternate push up through the Amage right there. Rally now out. Kitsune out from the other side. Lampet, though, finding Lich. Lampet is having themselves a little bit of a map here. And now, though, this Kitsune Rush might just seal the deal in this fight. It's going to do just that as Alternate finds the team kill. 3 members on the cart here to push as fast as they can. Well, 4. Well, it's still going to go as fast as 3 anyway, but they're going to try to get this one as close to point as they can. They know there's ultimates ready on the other side, but I think they're trying to figure out, did Santana build up to another downpour within the time? Emmermain can play a little bit aggressively here. Overclock coming out here from Ivory. Beat out from the other side of counter out, but there's the blade from Lampet. It found 2 last time. Already getting rid of the Immortality Field. There's 1 pick, 2 picks coming out because of it here, and already this looks like it's just going to be an alternate team fight win, and that means a team point capture as well. Pulse Bomb came out from Lich. Wasn't really able to find much. 2.5 minutes now for Alternate to complete the map in Graveyard. Just took the reset there. I mean, great play by Alternate again, just to cap that point. Used 2 ultimates. Emmermain still has this bomb. And on the other side, you know you got rid of some ultimates. And Graveyard making the swap over to Juno. A late swap, but I don't hate it, especially in this close quarters point that pushing through Foundry is. I really much like it here. Lich, though, again, it doesn't matter. Anything they do, they are scary no matter what. Irie finding 1 right there, getting rid of that backline. And if you are Alternate, you might just be looking for the exit. You find 1, but at this point, you're already down 3. The fastest way out might just be death, and I think Emmermain understands that. It looks like they are just going to be running for the Foundry. Yep, there they go. Lampet, though, playing a little bit too aggressive. Dash to get them out, though. However, you look at the other side right now. Santana still holding on to their downpour. Graveyard and Regime not that far away from their own support ultimates. Those are 2 strong ultimates when you put them together. Lich, Pulse Bomb, almost ready to go. However, at the same time, Alternate, good spot with ultimate, still having bomb. Kitsune Rush really did help him out last time from Juno. I would expect to find it again. Downpour coming out. Suzu going to be able to keep 1 out of it, but still Social getting caught out through all of it. Lich, though, going to be able to find 1 bomb actually being invested here by Emmermain to get themselves back in, but they're going to lose their Kiri. And again, I think this is one of those situations where you just have to fall back here if you are Alternate. A minute to go on the clock here. Emmermain using the bomb in that situation kind of feels like maybe the most, not the most inopportune time, but an inopportune time. Holding it for what this final minute could be would have been huge, especially as the rest of your team building up to all 5 of their ultimates. But the same could be said almost for Uni Academy here as they're holding on to forward. Temp going to start off with the overclock here, trying to find whatever they can, but just doing a good job zoning out. It's a little bit of a more mobile Deadeye. You see Graveyard Orbital Ray out. Kitsune Rush out here from Juno. I don't necessarily know if that's going to be enough to cancel it. Out Blade, though, out from Lampet. Can it find the same value this time again? Already finds 1. The Jagged Wall going to shut them down. Lich's Pulse Bomb finds Temp. Social taken out of the engagement as well. But some members low. Graveyard very low, but instead it's Lampet that decides to go after Santana. Eventually, Graveyard will fall right there. But this is final fight territory now for Alternate, and only a beat to their name. The other side, they have 2, about to be 3 really good ultimates. Emmermain needs to desperately build up to this bomb here quickly, at least to have the remake. Overtime commenced. Here we go with the overclock. Any pick here would be deadly. Beat to come out just to cancel it out for the moment. Rally out from Regime, but Graveyard going to be able to find one. Social taking out, though. A trade for a trade. An eye for an eye right there. Suzu invested early, and Juno maybe going a little bit too far in. Temp finding one. Santana going to be taken out right after, or using the downpour right there. Might just seal the deal. Lich doing what they do best, finding picks. The Jagged Wall going to finish it off right there. 52 meters, though, for Alternate into the final point push. I mean, this is a doable win for them here. They just need to have a really solid either 0.1 hold or 0.2 hold, in my opinion, here. But, hey, a really good performance from them. They really looked like they really improved on a lot of stuff that they struggled with on last map. Let's look at some stats here, though. Honestly, really, really impressed with Lampet throughout that first round. Only died one time. Most damage on their team. Second most elims are behind their tank. Emmermain coming in as a sub. Did a really, really good job playing the D.Va. Seemed to cause a lot of problems there to Uni Academy, who did take a little bit to figure it out. But now on the other side of Uni Academy, I mean, this is completely different from what we saw map 1 for them, where they were dominating it. Yeah, they had points where they looked really strong on last round as well, but it just wasn't the same kind of domination from them there. But I mean, still good healing across the board there for them. Graveyard able to get almost, over 9,000 most healing in the lobby, and only about 2,500 off of probably the combined total of what Alternate got that round. But now looking at compositions here, no big changes for Alternate coming out of the gate, and that kind of surprised me here. I feel like D.Va on the defense is one of those make or break kind of picks, especially if you get demacked. It basically means you might have to give up first point. No swaps on the side of Uni as well. Again, Lich has just been a nightmare on this Tracer, and probably one you really have to watch out for here. But Santana looking for that dive in here pretty early on. Speed Ring coming out there from Graveyard, but it's not going to do much. Lampet actually getting forced off the high ground by Santana, but Emmermain now trying to get rid of Lich in that backline. Ivory, they had a little bit of a slow start last round, but they're already starting off hot here. Going to be able to get rid of Social, so a lot of the speed now gone for Alternate. As Ivory looking for more here. Jagged Wall coming out. Lampet, after having a really good first round, gonna struggle to start off here in round 2, but this looks like they're setting up for a quick re-engage, or honestly, it looks like if they're not looking for the re-engage, Alternate might just be looking for the Archer's hold. Well, I think they're just setting up for the Arch hold here. The Jagged Wall might have had something to do with it as well, but I didn't see anyone on the side of Alternate really even move after that wall came out. The Soldiers looking for whatever kind of space they can get here. Temp just needs to be able to stay alive. Same thing with Soldier, who's getting very low as, again, Lich in that back line. They will be your problem here. Missing that large health pack. Lampet could take them out here. Going to be able to, as you see, Temp fall as well. And Uni Academy already just kind of pushing through archers here. If you can get one more pick, though, for Alternate, you will be able to probably reset the cart here, or reset the team for Unicad. Speed Ring out to give Santana that aggressiveness, so they're looking for torpedoes. Going to be able to lock onto a couple people right there. Santana, though, look at just the space they are building. They're going to dive back here for the moment, but again, it's all about the space right now for Uni. And Tracer getting caught out here by Lampet. Lampet, though, in a little bit of a bad spot. Kitsune Rush coming out here from Juno early on point to try to keep everyone alive. Suzu already invests here, but you need to find some picks here. Downpour coming out. Juno going to be able to stay out of it. The beat coming out from Social to keep them alive. Juno going to be able to find one here. Getting rid of Santana is, I could not ask for a better pick from them. Overclock out here now from Ivy, looking to get rid of anyone they can, but they do struggle to find anyone. Social getting rid of them here, and this looks like it's just going to be the reset point now for Uni Academy. But hey, Lich will get one on their way out, so they'll take that.
Good to see you. Hello.
Still, though, 4 minutes on the clock for Uni Academy. They could really take a couple fights here, build up to all 5 ultimates, and just dump them all at once. But again, Lich in this backline is going to be a problem. 8 health, going to be able to escape as the tanks just going at each other right now. on point, but this is what you want to see from alternate. Blade out from Lampet needs to be big, already finding value, or Orbital Ray out from the other side, so they have to play a little bit safe here, just getting some swipes in, not going to be able to find much, but that's the only pick down so far. Lampet, though, going to try to get out, going to find their way out. Rally now out from Regime. Temp will fall here. Uni Academy having a little bit of a light fallback right there, really going to benefit them in the end. Nice stun right there. Lampet has to use deflect just to keep themselves alive for the moment, but you have ultimates right now if you are alternate, but you're still waiting on them here to get back. I mean, Temp just respawned. Lich has a pulse bomb ready to go, and they've been someone to watch all map long, really all series long, as they've been doing so much. Lampet now looking for the way out. There's the overclock out here with the Kitsune Rush, and really you need to find one or two more if you are alternate. And remember, Temp is, or Lich is somewhere in that backline looking for more. Looking for the back cap, it seems. They get caught out right there. Whew, that would have been a disastrous play if alternate allowed that to happen. But right now, they're just looking to eat away this time bank. You look at the other side. I mean, a lot of ultimates did come out there from Uni Academy. I mean, you have Downpour ready this fight. You're going to still have Lich's Pulse Bomb, which has struggled to find value. Good job by alternate to really just not be taken out by that. Juno is probably a big part of that. You have Beat coming online. Well, you had Beat coming online, and that gives Uni Academy the go sign to play aggressively. Lich just trying to pester out that backline again like they always have. Emmermain might have to use the bomb here. Gonna use the bomb here. Lampet will find one. The bomb not going to be able to find anyone out, and this looks like it's going to be point two going over to Uni Academy. Beat from Social. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, that's one of those usages right there where you can look back at it and say that might have been the map for alternate here. Still, though, 3.5 minutes, but the Beat, especially with Downpour, Pulse Bomb, or Overclock, and Rally coming up for Uni Academy, it's going to be a long uphill battle here now. For alternate, you're going to need picks early, and you're going to need picks often. But hey, you find that one pick early as Temp going to be able to find them out, waiting for some healing now to come back out. But you already see Uni Academy just trying to back up. It really looks like just regroup. They want to go in with all 5 members of their team. But if you're alternate, you love what you got right there. You got rid of one ultimate, but you still have to deal with 4 more coming up here for Uni. Again, though, Kitsune Rush not that far away from Juno. You're not that far away from an overclock. 1 or 2 railgun shots might just do it to you. Lampet's Blade, though, in the backline. If you can find 1 or 2 here like they've been doing in the past, it might just be enough to put them back in this map. But no, they don't find anyone. Temp, though, finds one. Lampet will be taken out there by Lich. Not the way you wanted it to go, as Mike. But right now, again, you're just trying to eat away time bank, stay alive. Ultimates galore here for Uni Academy as they are looking to find anyone they can. Juno might have to use that Kitsune Rush here early on. There's the rally, there's the Orbital Ray, but the Overclock not going to find much. Kitsune Rush coming out here from Juno just try to keep Emmermain alive, but they're not going to be able to. The dual support ultimates from the other side might just be a little bit too much here. Juno trying to do what they can, but they'll eventually be taken out. Now it all rests on Social to be able to get back to this cart in time. You're going to have to deal with a lot. They're going to be able to get this high ground. They're going to have to get a touch here pretty quickly. Here comes the touch. You do see Emmermain come back out on the Doomfist. Is this going to be enough here? Social not that far away from Beat. It might just be enough to keep him in this round here or in the fight. And now, though, Ivory already getting rid of Lampet. Beat ready now for Social. Beat coming out here. Has to use it. Investing early. That might just be the way to go, but you have to find picks now if you're the rest of alternate. Pulse Bomb out. Not going to be able to get the stick, but they don't touch. They don't touch. No! Oh no! Uni Academy goes up 2-0 in the series. Alternate, they were looking so good. Oh, but it was Lich. I think it was Lich there that got the touch. An unfortunate ending there to map number 2. Oh, but Uni Academy, I felt like they had the time. Even if they nope, I do not want to do what I just did there. Even if they had lost that round, I still feel like they would have been able to make a or even if they lost that fight, they would have been able to come back in and do what they needed to do there to win that map. But it's one of those things where you will never know now. They are wanting to play fast, though. alternate is. So we already know what our third map of the night will be, and potential final map here as well. We'll be heading to Runasapi here, and this has kind of been a go-to map for a lot of the NA teams, and even a lot of the teams just in general. Runasapi, really one of the better push maps. It might just be New Queen Street with a little bit of a different layout. But hey, everyone likes it. It's a really fun map to play. It does allow a decent amount of play styles. You can see Wrecking Ball, Doomfist. Junker Queen is one I would really love to see. Juno being the ban out here for alternate. So wanted to make sure we don't see our friendly Martian this time around. And while we wait for the other ban in, let's just go look at stats, because I feel like that last map was a little bit of a closer map here. I mean, Graveyard, I think they're the biggest difference here. Graveyard, 16 eliminations, map 1, only 9. Santana, though, picking up the slack. Regime did a solid job. 15,000 healing, almost 16,000 healing right there, actually, for Graveyard. But on the other side, Juno, almost 17,000 healing. So this was honestly a really good bounce back map for alternate. They just didn't come out on top. And that's just the worst thing to be saying about this kind of situation. I mean, alternate played really, really good, and I'm looking at someone like Lampet who had themselves a map, one where you look back on and say, man, it's a shame they lost it, because Lampet really did play good. And I mean, Temp 13 deaths, but I mean, they were playing Tracer. However, you look at Lich playing the same character, only 5. It's just differences there. I mean, they were pretty consistent outside of that. Almost the same amount of elims, same amount of damage. Just a little bit more deaths right there for Temp, and that might have been the difference there in that map there for alternate. I'm not going to say it was. It might have been. Alternate, like I said, they played a really good map, but Unity Academy, they're one of the best teams in the region for a reason, as now we wait for the second ban to come in. Well, wait for lineups to be finalized. It's going to be really interesting to see what subs we see, if we see any come in for either of these teams. Their alternate, I mean, last game of the regular season, you don't really have much to lose if you throw in some subs. Again, they're sitting on that bubble when it comes to playoffs, and I'll show it here again. I mean, they're currently sitting 5th, but a loss would put them in these teams here, and Shikigami and Midori will get a 7th loss tonight. Extinction Zero is playing Dreamland, so if Dreamland handles their business there, locking themselves in as the 1 seed, Extinction Zero would have 7. I think at that point, alternate would still be locked in, but they want to make sure to have the highest seed they possibly can at this point. A win here tonight, well, it could put them above Tanuki. They have a long road to go, though, with that one. Still waiting for lineups to be finalized here. Again, I've been really, really impressed with the support play from both these sides. Regime and Graveyard, a very formidable support line there for Unity Academy. And, I mean, 24 assists for Regime, incredible amount. But, again, alternate, Social, and Juno, they did a lot. I'm looking at their one right there, 51 combined assist. Really, really good job by them there. There is the invite to the game, meaning I know what our second ban is going to be now. Juno and Zarya getting a ban out here. Interesting ban. I mean, unless we are seeing a sub, which it doesn't look like we're seeing. Zar. It really makes me think they want to play D.Va. They want to play maybe the Orisa and not have to worry about potentially getting caught out by anything here. But let me get these bans in place here real quick. And they are on the right side. So there we are. I never thought I'd be typing the Zarya ban out here, but Zarya's starting to get banned a little bit more here. Juno being banned out by alternate. And, I mean, right now, Unity Academy on series point at the moment. I mean, they've had a really good regular season. They still have one more game to go after this one. But, hey, a win here does, I think, lock them basically into the top 3 unless some stuff goes out. But, hey, we do see there hero to hero. I imagine that's probably a streamer name coming out there let me figure out who that is. That has to be Amity, if I was going to say anyone. So, yeah. But right now, this could be it here for alternate in the regular season. 9-6, not bad. Like I said, I still think it locks them into the playoffs with a win here. But at the moment, not big surprises. I mean, Zarya is what I really expected. I mean, my bad. The Orisa is what I expect to see from both sides with the Zarya ban in particular. It's going to be interesting to see if we see any swaps off of the Orisa throughout this round here. But Lampet back on the Genji. I mean, if they could have the performance they had on King's Row here on Runasapi on Genji, it might just be enough to get alternate back into this series with a map win here. But Ivory, they have been one that's been really stepping up here, getting rid of social, and there goes a lot of your healing there for the side of alternate. And I mean, you're just trying to find backups here, but Ivory looking for more. Lich as well, trying to clean up some members of alternate here. And they're just going to back up. It should be a backup, but Lampet, they don't know that. They're trying to get rid of Lich here. That would be a great pick, but down Juno and now down Amity, you're going to have to completely fall back as Union Academy pushes on through. Lampet could be able to escape right there. That was a little bit too close for comfort. All right, here, Union Academy just building up very, very strong here at the moment. Nice jab there, and look at how low Amity gets there. Almost dead at the moment, having to fortify up, get all the healing it can. Lampet being taken out there by Regime. Graveyard already investing Amp Matrix, and 1 minute and 34 seconds in, or 36 seconds in. You see that point cap. Temp, though, going to be able to shut down Lich, so the demon in the backline is gone now. If you can find one more pick and get this card in your control, we will be seeing a fight at the starting point here. It looks like we might just be seeing that fight happen here right now. I mean, Santana slowly backing out. They want to find more Deadeye coming out from Ivory, but it's going to be not going to be able to find the jab. Ivory finds Juno out. Deadeye now out from Temp. They immediately pop it, not finding anyone, but Lich back into the fray, and well, they came back in with a presence, finding two, and now this bot moving yet again here. As, I mean, not even 3 minutes in, and we could be looking at Union Academy rounding some of the final turns here on Runasapi. Ultimates, though, about to be online here. Lich's Pulse Bomb. Lich is, I mean, I'll say this. Lich has been more scary with just anything else besides the Pulse Bomb here. I think they found one stick back on map 1 that did lead to a pick, but they are just more scary doing what they're doing right now. Pestering that backline. Recall being forced out by them here. Hero to Hero using that terror, so trying to find what they can, but not going to be able to do anything just yet. Again, Lich still in that backline. Amp Matrix out from Graveyard yet again. Building that up quick. Beat coming out now. Pulse Bomb from Lich, not going to be able to find anything, but Union Academy, I mean, they are feeling themselves here at the moment, already rounding the final turn, but Social just going to try to take the bot away for a moment to give their team a little bit of a chance to respawn here, because you could be looking at the final fights, not only in the map, but in the series. No ultimates, though, other than Ivory's Deadeye ready to go, but Hero to Hero, Social, and Lampet all used ultimates last fight, and well, didn't find anything right now. This has been an all-out dominant map. Ivory with 2. Deadeye might come out. Temp can be able to find one. Ivory, though, has their sights set. Juno able to shut them down. And, I mean, if you're alternate, this has to be a fight that you clean up here, but you are struggling to do so at the moment. Santana, Regime gonna be able to find Juno, but Regime, yeah, they're just accepting death with open arms right there. Alternate, though, 120 meters, 6 minutes left to go. A long uphill battle awaits them here to try to get back into this series. Juno's Amp Matrix is going to be the thing that I'm going to be looking for here. Ivory will possibly Deadeye here just to kind of try to cancel it out, but Lich in that backline again, they have just been a monster in this backline. You see already what it's doing. You have Temp just focusing back in on. There's the Amp Matrix out from Juno. Immortality Field's still available for them, but they're actually doing a good job forcing back Union Academy into that side area. Oh, Terror Surge coming out, and that will end the fight right there. Hero to Hero will find one. They have Terror Surge ready to go here. If they can find Regime, might still be fight here. Yep, 2 for 2 trades, so never mind. This fight is not yet over just yet here. Alternate find the picks they need as Lampet coming back alive here. Getting rid of Graveyard is huge, and if they can find out Santana, they'll be able to reset those forward spawns as well. Hello, Raiders from William. Hey, Money, thank you so much for the raid. Hope everything went good on your stream here tonight crap, I'm forgetting the name of the event, man. I'm so sorry. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't. But I hope your event went good here tonight. We've had a great series here so far. Alternate looked really good last map, but just gave it up at the end on a C9. And I mean, that might be how their regular season ends here right now, but they have a long uphill battle to go here. Lich, again, still doing what they do best of harassing that backline. And look at the pressure and the attention they're actually getting away. Lampit, though. Oh, man. Like I said, Lampit's been having themselves a little bit of a round here, a little bit of a series here. They just need a little bit more here. Blade now coming out, trying to get rid of Graveyard. Sayonara Graveyard. And now looking for more here, just trying to get as much damage in on the Santana as they possibly can. The Blade still hot, finding two, and Alternate, hey, slowly eating away that 120 meter deficit. This should be forward spawns to them, and off the back of one Blade, I mean, you're in a good spot with Ultimate's hover. Lich, Pulse Bomb, finds the stick, no, rally ready to go this time. Lich's Pulse Bombs, they have been quiet here recently, but now finding that one right there, that kind of flips the entire momentum that Alternate had going into this round here. That's gone. Lampit's gone out as well, so forward spawn's gonna be reset now. As, I mean, Lampit just gonna barely miss it, it seems. Yep, get the far spawns. Amage is already coming out here from Graveyard. I mean, Unity Academy, they've liked to play aggressive in the past. Ivory, talk about having themselves a map here. I mean, Lich has been a constant nuisance throughout this entire series, but Ivory, they have doing a really, really good job here on the cast. Terror Surge out here from Santana, gonna be able to get rid of Social, who just walked back in. Juno falls as well. No supports now left up for Alternate, as if you're Alternate, yeah, you're doing what Hero to Hero is doing right there, just dying on cart, because where this barrier is, it could be one fight and done here, but you have 4 ultimates coming up. You cannot afford to lose anyone early, and you know, one thing I just noticed, Ivory's been holding on to this Deadeye for a very long time, and here it is. Deadeye out from the other side, rallying, say goodbye to your own Deadeye right there. Social coming back in now, trying to find Deadeye gonna come out there from Temp, not gonna be able to do much as it only eats a shield from Santana, but you're getting rid of ultimates here for Alternate, or for Unity Academy if you're Alternate. You still, though, need to find the fight win. Lich in this backline, again, it's been their normal place. It's basically been their home this entire series. It looks like Juno knows that they're up there, but Hero to Hero going to be able to find out Ivory, and now just trying to pressure out some more. Graveyard should fall here, and honestly, this looks like it should just be Kearns for this fight. Lich, though, they got their one, but the rest of their team going to be going back to spawn here. Santana going to be staggered out there a little bit, but they'll get the same spawn wave as Regime. Again, though, 2 minutes left now for Alternate, and I mean, you still have over a 50-meter deficit, almost 80 meters you have to push to take the lead here. A long uphill battle for them here. 3 ultimates to their name, and if Lampit can find a blade here, a good blade like they've been finding in the past, it might just do what they need to do. Amage is coming out from Graveyard here on the high ground, gonna split Alternate up. There's the forward spawns back, though, but this is gonna be very tough for Alternate to get back in. Temp, though, will fall, but you still have a lot. No, the Matrix down for Alternate here. Zero will be able to find one, but they're so far away from the actual cart that the pick doesn't necessarily matter. All right, 70 seconds left to go here. Uni Academy pushing up. Santana just making space like they've been doing all series long here. And let's figure out where Lich is. What a shock. They're in the backline. Amagix coming out from Juno early on here just to build some space. Deadeye out now from Ivory. Beat from Regime. Lich will be able to fall here. Terror Surge out looking for whatever they can. The Deadeye from Ivory not going to be able to find much there with it. But if you are Altered, this needs to be a fight that you have to win. And getting rid of Santana and Graveyard will just do it. 36 seconds, though. It's do or die now. They cannot afford to lose a fight, especially as they push this cart or barrier the other way. And, I mean, you can see it there in that top scoreboard. It has a long, long way to go. You do have 3 ultimates, though, so if you use them smart, you should be able to just play it out smart here. Lampit, though, you need a big blade. You're already finding one. If you can get Santana down, that would be huge. 3, 4 down. Lich, though, going to be the last one to fall. However, if you are Uni, you're tracking these ultimates. You know that the Blade was ready to go. You probably know Deadeye and Rally are ready to go. You don't know what else is, though. You probably expect Juno to have that amp matrix here, but you look at what you're coming up to. Terror Surge, your own Pulse Bomb, your own amp. It's going to be difficult for Alternate to do a lot here. Rally out here from Social as they just try to build some space. They need to find a pick with this. They really do. Amp Matrix out from the other side. They try to find Regime, but they don't find it right there. Graveyard trying to do what they can, but Graveyard building, zero to hero building some space here. Temp will find one of their Deadeye. Terror Surge out from Santana. 100% saying goodbye to Temp. Juno out as well. Zero to hero will fall, and now it's just a cleanup crew as Uni Academy gonna take this series in sweeping fashion here. Move on to 11-3 on the season. Still have one more game tomorrow against Boot Troop, but if they win that one, you could be looking at a team locking themselves in as the number 2 seed here in the NA Masters tier. Graveyard getting play of the game. An incredible series from this Baptiste. I mean, I knew BAP was going to be a problem going into the series, but without a ban on the BAP at all, you really saw Graveyard excel throughout the night. And I mean, hey, just an overall great series here from Uni Academy. Alternate, they really had their moments. They really did. And there's times where I really thought they were coming back in that final map, but I think you have to look at King's Row and just say it was unfortunate that they just ended up C9ing there. But let's take a look at the stats there for this final map of our series. I think King's Row was by far the closest map. With how Alternate really played towards the end, I mean, you see some stats kind of evening out, but again, you see it. They're very consistent play from Uni Academy across the board. Graveyard just did so much. 13,500 healing. They were, in my opinion, they were my MVP of this series. Lich was doing a lot in that backline, but only 5,000, almost 6,000 damage. Still able to get 20 elims. Found value with Pulse Bomb, which was something that we had seen them struggle with throughout the series. But an overall great series for Uni Academy. Alternate though. Let's just go take a quick peek at the standings here. I don't know what series have concluded, what series aren't over just yet, but as it stands right now, even with the loss, Alternate is still ahead of this pack of teams here, Midori, Shikigami, and Extinction Zero. Like I said, situations or scenarios coming in this night were going to be, I think, really favoring Alternate throughout. Everything kind of needed to fall apart or just have a lot of chaos happen for the Midori Shikigami game. Those two teams are playing each other, so one of those teams will have 7. Extinction Zero, that is the one you kind of have to be keeping an eye out on if you're Alternate. They are playing Dreamland here tonight. Dreamland currently sitting in that number 1 spot, as you see. If they win that one, they lock themselves in as the number 1. Young and Beautiful, I think they're playing right now as well. Let's take a look at the matches going on, because there are a lot. So Dill Dragon's beating them. Emote down mid should get a win here. Shikigami up 2-1 on Midori. Extinction Zero. Oh my goodness, we might be in the chaos situation here. Up 2-1 on Dreamland. That would be a huge upset. And just to explain a little bit more here, the tiebreakers going into playoffs are not decided by head-to-heads first, decided by the Buchholz score or something. It's FaceIt's like internal score for how teams win and play games. I do know this. Alternate did beat Extinction Zero. I believe they did. Yeah, they beat Extinction Zero. So they do have the head-to-head. However, that Buchholz score might come back to bite them. That is a good series. I know this series is the Midori Shikigami game is being streamed by Bullskunk, but considering there's only one person here, I'm not going to raid. But hey, Emote Down Mid is taking care of business. They will finish up the regular season, I believe, as a 11-5 team. No, as a 10-5 team. So they'll jump Alternate and probably Tanuki, but Uni Academy still having one more game to go here. Same thing with YAB or Young and Beautiful. I think Uni Academy could potentially jump Young and Beautiful here, but I mean, just an overall good series here for Uni Academy tonight. Again, let's go back and look at everything here. I mean, Santana did an incredible job throughout that final map. I really was surprised to see Orisa v. Orisa the entire time. I thought we would see a little bit of a swap at some point, but no, these two teams, especially with Amity coming in, just did a good enough job on the Orisa. I mean, Amity really did match Santana throughout that entire last map. The only main difference is just elims. That's it. But Ivory, like I said, really a good performance for them as well on the final map. Lampit, like I said, they had a series. They had a really, really good series. And if I wasn't giving the MVP of the series to Graveyard, it would probably honestly be going over to Lampit. I think Lampit really kept alternate in a lot of these games. But that will do it here for me tonight. Like I said, not going to raid anybody. It was a great series, a great one. Unfortunately, you do see... Oh, where's the scoreboard? You do see alternate fall here. And like I said, there was that chaos scenario. Extinction Zero, if they were to lose, or Extinction Zero were to win, you would have a little bit of interesting spots between Midori, the loser Midori Shikigami, and alternate here. So there might be some chaos coming up, everyone. But hey, that will do it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. To anyone that did, thank you so much, Willie and Mundy, for for the Raiders. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. But that will do it for me. Until next time, y'all. Hope you have a good night and see you then.